Tonight we're talking about a new chapter under Title I. We're talking about the addition of a new Chapter 10 dealing with electronic records management. Government's written work is becoming more and more computer-based and digitized. Computers and digital records are important communication tools for conducting private business and as well as doing the public's business. Most government agencies use some form of digital format to transfer official documents. You've all received emails before with official documents attached to them. City staff are in the process of implementing a new citywide records management system to help expedite government business communications. This will also help reduce and perhaps eliminate a lot of paperwork. The overall goal is to move more city records online for more efficient access and storage. But in order to be able to do that, we have to have assurances that users will be able to access the documents when they want them and be able to produce and reproduce the printed copies when they need them. We also need to ensure that we can prevent the destruction or the corruption of the electronic data. Idaho Code allows cities to use digitized records for official public business as long as safeguards are put in place to make sure records are not destroyed or lost and the public has the ability to access those records. Authority for the cities to utilize electronic records are found under Idaho Code Title 50, Chapter 908, which designates the power and responsibilities of municipal records management to the city clerk, and also under Idaho Code 50-909, which deals with the retention of city records using photographic and or digital media, which we are incorporating into the proposed ordinance. Also in this proposed ordinance, city business-related email are specifically addressed, stating that they will be retained for 2 years and then they will automatically be removed from the city's exchange server unless it has been determined that they are a record that we need to keep longer, and then we'll have a process in place to store them and retain such record as required by law. So this proposed ordinance, pursuant to state code, allows the city to move forward into the 21st century for electronic records and the management of those records. That's all I have.
Okay, Rod. Questions for Rod and council? John.
Rod, after having read this a couple of times, I think that staff has covered everything pretty well, and you have also made it possible for records to be kept longer if necessary, and if not necessary, we only need to hold them for 2 years. And you've also put in areas where they will physically be stored and safeguarded and kept away from weather, heat, all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's a pretty good deal, and I think we should pass it. I'm all for it.
Wayne.
Well, everything that John said, plus the one other thing that I really like about it, Rod, is the fact that if there is a public records request, it's probably going to be easier to find those records now as opposed to going through hard copies and trying to look through different files. So, yeah, I agree with what John has said. In fact, I'd go ahead and make a motion to approve the ordinance under suspension of the rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that'll be read by title and published by summary.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Wayne and a second by John to approve the ordinance under the suspension of rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and it'll be read by title and published by summary. Discussion. Okay, I'll start the roll with Walter.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the ordinance passed 5-0, and this is ordinance number 2015-09. Okay. Ordinance number 2015-09, an ordinance of the City of Moscow, Idaho, a municipal corporation of the State of Idaho, providing for the amendment of Moscow City Code Title I by the addition to Chapter 10 to provide records management's policies and procedures, providing that the provisions of this ordinance be deemed severable, and providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from the date of its passage, approval, and publication according to law.